Hi, I'm Max Matern, the lead service trainer for Garage Composites. I wanted to take a moment to explain some of the offerings we currently have for service training, all live online. Right now, we're offering 4 different packages. They start from our service staff training all the way up to our service elite program. Service staff training is all about process. It is 3 individual 2-hour meetings that happen once a week. You can have anyone from your service department in those calls. Now, that particular training is also carried over into our service manager training. But rather than ending at the end of 3 weeks, it is a 6-week program. That second half of 6 weeks is about not only the process we discussed previously, but the structure that we would need within your 4 walls and the culture of rolling that out. Now, the larger section of that, an even bigger, more robust version, is what is our service management academies. Our service management academies are 14 meetings over 15 weeks that spend time not only explaining the process, the structure, but how to fit it within your store to the extent of writing our own little business plan for it called a growth plan. That growth plan is your job descriptions and specifics of your store and training modules and all the things you would do to roll out this plan over the next 3 years. So every service manager leaves with a playbook. The last thing is our Service Elite program, which is similar to that of an MTA, Management Training Academy, but is actually designed specifically for one group of dealers. So let me go through a little bit of a description of what these things all are, and we'll start off with process. So process starts off by simply identifying the way in which we communicate with our customers, or the way in which a repair order goes from outreach all the way to follow-up. That's how we structure all of our meetings, is based on that timeline. We then identify specific roles, specific people in these, and then we say what tasks they need to do, what jobs are required of them throughout that entire process. And we start to dial into how do you do that job as best as possible. As you'll see with all Garage Composites content, we start with a very wide theory and idea, and we drill it down all the way to the specifics of what thing you would do to execute that in your store. We also talk about how to make selling easier. This might be one process you've seen before called YMCA selling and overcoming those objections. That's first process section of training is all about how do you make this work. Now, the next section is about how do you make this work within your store. All 3 of our remaining training options offer that. So the structure section we talk of next is how do you get all the right tools to fit in your dealership. And by that, I mean this roadmap requires specific people to come through. Now, we don't go through and simply tell you, you need this many service writers for this many technicians, or you should hire this many people to make your problems go away. We actually calculate how your opportunity is going to work out. So we have multiple options to go through planning this. Not only how much more you could make if you did these things, but what if they didn't work out? What are your plans to mitigate that risk? Or what are your contingency plans? Those are all included in our steps along the way. Now, in our service management training, that 6-session training, we work in different things into those last 3 meetings. We would work in things specific to the needs of your department because we're working with only 3 more meetings. So with that, we use different worksheets. Depending on the information you need, we will litter those throughout and change the presentations depending on what fits your store the best. Now, if you'd rather have all of the content, if you'd rather know every single thing that would be perfect and plan out your entire service department from a 30,000 foot view all the way to granular, you would sign up for our Management Training Academies. So Service Manager Academy is what will be the same content as before, but you will be building a very large growth plan the entire way through. Additionally, there are 2 other pieces that come along with it. There is a workbook that goes along with every single one of our trainings in both the Academy and in the Service Elite program. That workbook has all of the worksheets we talked about previously, as well as things to follow along with in the presentation and to help build what your homework is. The homework is the growth plan. A growth plan is essentially a service department's business plan to say, what can we do? How will we get there? And what are the deliverables we will make over that period of time? Both of those are allowed in the Academy and in Elite, but the big difference between the 2 is that in the Academy, you are a part of multiple dealers. There are up to 12 different dealers who will be in that exact same virtual space with you, so you'll have ideas to be able to bounce off other dealers. One of the disadvantages is we can only do these scheduled 2 times a year. So if you were a large enough dealer, if you have enough people and enough dealerships to be able to join them all together, we can customize a plan just for you, and that is where the Service Elite program comes in. You will have very similar deliverables. You'll have your own customized workbook. You'll have your own customized growth plan, but it will be specific to the things that you want on your own. It also allows for a shared communication between your own dealers within your group. So all of those options break down again to our 4 different sections here, and these are our prices. They go from our $3,000 for a 3-day meeting for 3 individual sessions of 2 hours each, $6,000 for our 6-session meeting, which will last over a month and a half, and then our Service Management Academy, which is 14 meetings over 15 weeks, is $9,000 per student, and then our Service Elite program is going to be specific to your store and the layout that you want. Now, if you have any more questions or you need anything else, please let me know. Additionally, I can give you a tour of what this classroom would look like, the virtual space that everyone would be training in, as well as the recorded meetings, the workbook pages, the homework, and the way that as a general manager or a dealer principal, you can actually see the progress of what's being done. So that's everything. Again, reach out to me with any questions. And my email there, my phone number, it's a cell. You can text or call. And then creepily, you can direct message me on Instagram if you're interested as well. Thank you guys so much. And I look forward to talking to you again soon.